wave across the face of the sea. I'm an early rider, riding to me.
Bob's just kind of a Renaissance artist.
Bob is really on another level of day in, day out, all day long commitment and focused on his thing.
Does anybody really know Bob Schneider?
He's a poet. He's a poet in everything he does.
That he just sees the world as an artist.
I feel like Bob changed the way I made records. There's a certain amount of just spontaneity and creativity wise you get from just throwing it out there and seeing what happens and going with takes and letting them be what they're going to be, that I would have never done without making records with Bob. I think Bob's the greatest, and I think his shows are great, I think his bands are great, I think his songs are great. If I had my way, he would be one of the biggest, but it's one of those things. I don't know.
Read about a guy when he was 23 years old, stood 3 foot tall. Man, that's...
All I know is every time, because my duo's on the same format as him, AAA and stuff, and Hot AC, every time we would, on our radio tours, we would go, they would look at my bio and they would go, oh, he produces all the Bob stuff. They would go, tell Bob to come see us.
I mean, the guy, I think he probably writes a song every day.
It's 10:35. I got an hour and a half to finish the song before I have to send it off.
Covered in water the way it's supposed to be for 1,000 years and 1,000 more, that's the way it was. And I washed up on the shore, and the Lord, he said, let's put some legs up on this bitch. And sure enough, the world granted him his wish. Left the shore, upon these legs I own, went off into the great unknown. I'm a monkey now. Look at me shine. I got my clothes on. I'm going out tonight. I'm going to drive my car right into the sea. And that'll be the last you'll ever see of me. Anyways, that's it. But you can't tell that those are the lyrics because they're all covered in bluegrass juice. When I began, I was a fish in the sea, covered in water the way it's supposed to be. For a million years.
Rarely does a week go by that I'm not amazed by some new revelation I have about how what his day looks like compared to mine. I think I don't really think he sleeps.
It's inspiring and it's dizzying and it's maddening and it's just interesting.
And you can't take my dreams from me. You're too afraid. I can see you dying in the bed you made.
There's just so much music that just oozes out of that guy. It's kind of amazing to me.
I couldn't get any higher if I tried.
And then, there's his art as well. So
I don't know how he can get all this stuff done. And I'm just in the music end of things. And then I look on his website and the art. I mean, you just don't sit down and paint or draw something like that in an hour.
So I did an art show, that one that I was telling you about, and this is what the art looked like that was in that show. So what I was doing was I was taking these pretty sort of standard black and white images, like that's the Lone Ranger, or taking some pictures and blowing them up. Like that was like this big in that book, and then I just blew it up, and kind of the artwork that like you see, like if I was at a gallery and I saw that, I'd be like, I could do that. which a lot of art is like that. A lot of art's like, oh, I could do that. I didn't do it, but I could easily do that. And I think, and then I was like, well, maybe I should just do something. Maybe I'll do a show where I do like realistic work, drawing, to see if I could even do it still. So I did this thing, which is just like a drawing of a, you know, like a charcoal drawing of some dudes.
He's got this creative cycle, and he's always doing something creative, and when he shows up, he just brings that beautiful kind of creative energy in.
So this may or may not end up being the cover. I'm not sure. But the cover is going to be one of these collages.
It kind of floors me that he has that kind of energy. I don't know where it comes from. I don't see anybody else that really has that.
And they talked and they crowed and they told what they knew. And it was better than beer, it was all strange and new. And there was grass all around, there was black up above. It was more than a low, it was something like love. And I don't know why life, it seems to be so hard for dreamers like you.
And it's funny, like talking to other musicians about Bob. Some of them, you know, are just in awe of him.
And you know, saying he's eclectic doesn't do it justice. You can say that he's got a good voice and that he's funny, and that's about it. It's hard to put somebody in a box. Maybe there's some way to encapsulate that for Bob, but it would be a challenge. But ultimately that will be a story, you know, whether somebody summarizes it or not. It's just Bob Schneider.
When the cake spin floated in the sun comes out and you wanna say I love you, baby, but fuck you's all you shine. When the police pull up outside your window, outside your window. Well, you know, oh, you know, it's time to go, time to go. Yeah, yeah, it's time to go. Yeah, yeah, it's time to go. Whoa. Time to go now. Time to live down. Time to go now. Oh, down now. Time to go now. Oh, now, baby. Time to go now. Oh, now, baby. Well, now you know it's time to go. Wait a minute. Well, it's time to go. It's time to go. Oh, it's time to go. It's time to go. Oh, now it's time to go. Oh, it's time to go. It's time to hit the door. It's time to go. Oh, oh, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. Time to go. It's time to go. It's time to go. Don't you know? It's time. It's time to go, time to go, time to go, time to to go, time 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 to go, it's time to go.